questions in that, or are you just chatting?
Nah, we're just
No.
chatting.
Okay. So then let's get this party started. So sorry for being late, guys. I'm distracted by running through calls, but my intentions are really just to go through everything. And if we run out of time, I don't have any specific agenda topics, but if we run out of time, figure we just look at the Figma that Marco's built and make comments there. But I assume that all of you guys are on your own sprints. You know, there's forum posts, there's Python code, there's specs on disputable voting that could be reviewed. So there's lots of cool things, and I hope we can do some show and tells and stuff. And with that, I'll pass it to Mitch.
Hi there. I'd like to just catch up with you all, answer any questions about the Commons configuration prototype, and figure out if there's anything else that needs to happen in params. I'll give it to Vitor.
Yeah, intentions are to catch up with you guys, show a little bit, tell a little bit more of the Python work in the backend, and I was eager to see the design and talk about it as well because it impacts the backend and see how the firm process is going as well. And I'll pass to Lauren.
Specific things to add. I'm here to sync up, and I mean, if we end up hacking on things, then I have a couple of forum posts I wanted to finish out as well. And I'll pass it to Nate.
Hi. Intentions distractions.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, intentions distractions. Intentions are to help with the forum posts and finalize it and trying to get these up on the forum, and distractions not at the moment. I'll pass it on to Septi.
Yeah, thank you, Nate. Oh, you know I was the last one. Yeah, my intentions are just to sync up with you guys. I was reading the forum post from Mitch and Lauren, and I think they are awesome. And I would like to support some TLDRs that if you guys need. And yeah, no distractions. I'll pass it to you, Marco. Intentions, distractions.
Hey everybody, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, cool. So intentions, I'd like to demo you the Commons dashboard, the Commons configuration prototype that I have. And yeah, that's basically my only intention. And yeah, distractions. It's hot again, super hot over here. That's all. And pass it over to who hasn't gone yet?
No, I think it can. If you're down, dude, you can just keep the mic and show us these awesome prototypes. I'm pretty sure that's what we're all excited.
Just a moment. Let me find my screen thing here. Can I give praise?
Yeah.
Oh, I give praise to Mitch for supporting the Commons configuration with his magic. And also praise to you, Griff, for providing some feedback and leaving comments. And if you leave comments in Figma, I'm gonna praise you all. Hold on a second. Share screen. Where's that? All right, I'm going live now. Cool. Can you see that?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen this yet, I'm just going to quickly run you through this. So basically, first of all, the intentions of the Commons Dashboard prototype is to allow everybody with some knowledge and technical background, but also without any knowledge and technical background, to be able to learn everything about the parameters on the go, to make the experience as best as possible. And to teach them how to adjust those parameters in order to create, the best outcome they want to see for our commons. So basically, that is the intention. For that reason, we have three use cases and scenarios we had in mind when we were building this prototype. This would basically be the landing page that shows that we are entering a new phase, and below is not a slider, is basically just some sort of like a timeline saying like there was a hatch, and now there's a commons upgrade, and then we're going to launch this thing. So just a quick timeline. The next thing is a quick intro about the 4 modules that we have and that the user will be able to adjust. So we have the token freeze and token thaw. We have the augmented bonding curve, and we have conviction voting and disputable conviction voting. The idea here was not to just put those titles here up front for user, but actually kind of tell a little bit what each module is about. So instead of like writing, I don't know, the augmented bonding curve, we just said like this is the economic engine, and each of these have models to learn more about it. And there we say what it is actually and what you get to decide in this module. So you can read those or you can skip those, whatever user type you are. Next thing is we want to emphasize that it's super important that you understand your decisions. And for that reason, we really think it's necessary for you to either learn about those parameters and what they stand for, or if you are experienced with parameters, you can confirm that by ticking these boxes here and go straight to the configuration. And yes, it may be like look redundant, but we want you to click every one of these checkboxes and confirm that you understand, because this is super important thing that we're doing right now. Okay. And we don't want you to go into the configuration without knowing what you're doing, right? Because that can have bad consequences. So let's say I'm new to this and I have no technical background and no experience in token engineering, so I just want to learn more. So yeah, let's learn a little bit more about what's going on. We want to tell you that this may take, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 minutes, maybe less, depending on your pace. And we want you to confirm that you have enough time, no distractions, that you will be fully focused to learn about those parameters. All right, so let's go. Here we got the 4 modules, and each of those describes what they are. The content here is courtesy of Mitch, the Magic Man, who wrote all this, and also published these on the forum as posts, so they will be available there, maybe in greater detail. So you can read about token and its value. Basically, it's token freeze and token thaw. If you want to learn more, there will be links provided to the forum posts where you can read more in-depth information of each of these parameters. Once again, here we would like you to confirm, although it probably won't be mandatory, but yeah, I want you to confirm that you understood everything and that you will be able to configure these parameters based on the information that you read here. So if you click on those, you go to the second part, which is the augmented bonding curve. You can read about it. You can see what the parameters are. If you want to learn more, you can deep dive into the forum posts. If you understood everything, you can confirm and go to the next section. You could probably go back and forth between these sections, but for now, let's say you take this linear approach and go one by one. And once you're done, with all the reading, well, congratulations, you're done. You are ready to go to the configuration. The configuration screens, these are just wireframes, as you probably noticed. The first one is token and its value, basically the freeze and the token thaw. There will be some questions here and parameters to set, maybe some charts to display the impact of your choices. But if you think like you're a pro, you can go to the advanced settings right away. Although we might want to encourage you to go one by one and then just go through these. You can go back and forth if you want. Once you're done and set all the parameters in each of these modules, you can review and submit your parameters. The review screen shows you all the settings that you've done previously. You can also check the advanced settings. So like if you click on the advanced settings, you get a little bit more of parameters that you can set and change. This is like for the pros, so we encourage only professionals to do that. I'm probably not going to change those. And if you recall, there was a link previously in the configuration where we had on the top right corner, go to the advanced settings. basically that one would lead you to a similar page to this one where you have all the parameters on one screen instead of going one by one panel, and changing those parameters one by one. So basically, if you think like, if you don't want to go through this experience, if you just want to go straight to parameters, you can click on that advanced link and go straight to the panel where everything is in one place. And that's basically, you're done, you reviewed. Okay, you can hide advanced settings and then submit your proposal. It redirects you to the GitHub with the title pre-populated with all your parameters here. And basically, that's it. You submit your parameters for voting. That's it. Anything? What else? Nothing. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, any comments? Feel free to comment, suggest, or whatever you might have.
Yeah, it looks
Let's do a quick round. Go for it, Zep. Let's pass it.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome, and like the user interaction, I think it feels pretty natural, much better than the older dashboard we had. And yeah, I just want to know if there's something I can support with writing, and I'll pass it to Vitor.
No, yeah, I think it's awesome because I think the biggest problem of the previous one is that you get overwhelmed information. Like you can change too many things, and it's pretty hard to focus on one thing. And then like doing it point by point, I think it's the best way to go. And yeah, I think I'm more thinking how to integrate, like how to like avoid rework. And I think that one thing that we might think about is that like we have some assumptions on how things like from the specs have some assumptions, and we're setting how we're going to do the plots, etc. But I think once we show them, once we put them there and we play with it, even if it is the design is not ready, I think we might think on a few things to tweak and change. And I'm thinking like where should be the sweet spot from like just putting a few visualizations that we're thinking there, and without the design ready, and try to iterate and check if that's it or not. And I'm not sure like where should you do that. I'm not sure if that's too much off topic, but that's where I was more thinking on. Okay, I'll pass to Mitch.
I have no comments. I'm working with Marco on this one, so I'm just really here to like hear everyone's feedback. I'll give it to Lauren.
I think it's super cool. I really like the flow. I like the interaction. I like that there's like lots of places to get more information, but also it's, I don't know, some of it's like hidden. I like the first page how you can like learn more, and I like where the advanced settings are. I don't have anything constructive to say other than I like it so far, but if I find anything, I'll leave some comments in the Figma. I'll pass it to Nate. You didn't go yet, right?
Yeah, I thought it was really awesome. A lot of hard work went into that, and that's really great. Yeah, I like the walkthrough. I like how it kind of eases you into it. Lots of links. Yeah, it's really wonderful. I like the framework and the approach to it. And I think it's going to work really well. So yeah, I'll pass it on to Griff.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful framework. The fun starts soon. I will say the advanced tab is going to have a lot of parameters. So I saw it's like hide advanced, and then there was just like, a few that popped up. There might be more. There might be more, like another like dozen.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't know if that'll fit well or not.
Okay. Yeah, because the other thing I was thinking, because I didn't have an exhaustive list yet of all the advanced parameters, but really you could just have it so that instead of being side by side, they're just like they scroll down, and then there'll be inputs.
Yeah, I think that might make more sense too, because there might be even a full new section of like basically a liquidity pool that is auto-generated by Gardens. Because we're building on Gardens, there's some stupid stuff that is totally irrelevant, but like we don't want to hide it. We don't want the technocracy to have. Sem just wants to hide it. Don't let him. Don't give in to Sem. Okay, we can't give in to the technocracy. We have to be on hold ourselves accountable to the people. So give them the stupid parameters that we don't want them to change, and see what happens. But there's a lot of them. So, and we can go over that in a little bit. I want to highlight what Vitor said, which is a really great topic of conversation, maybe between Vitor and Marco. Specifically, like, how do we start getting user feedback, or how should we start getting user feedback? The idea of the prototype. I mean, the first user feedback that we want to gather is should be on the first module that we need to complete, which is the open price token and the token thaw, right? So Vitor has some Python stuff working, and like, do we want to just start getting people to play with like ugly Python like panel, or do we want to get people to see it all in context and do a Figma prototype, or do we want to just do like since the engineering work is really close, do we want to just do a rapid prototype that's like 80/20 actual web app? And what is the best steps for that? So, Marco, Vitor, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I can go first. Well, Vitor can definitely build up something on the front end, clickable, whatever it looks like, and at whatever stage that will be. And I can then look at that and see if I can kind of replicate the same thing within the Figma prototype. Just for the reason that, because I want also people to go through this prototype and click through all this stuff and take their path and leave feedback on that as well, and also on the stuff that Vitor is doing. So like, for people who want to play around with that one parameter and like see how that feels and how that works and leave feedback on that, from that point of view, having Vitor's thing on the front end first, for me is a good way for me then to try to put it in the Figma as well. So I don't know, Vitor, at what stage you are right now, or how much of that, or what we can show on I don't know, on a website.
Yeah, I still need to. I'm still working the backend to because we have just the raw models right now that need a little like the conviction voting into the voting curve, and I'm working to like to fit it into the specs that we want, like visualization, etc. But it's pretty double this week. Like, what I can do is like just don't add there right now that initial like terms, and I understand, etc. And then just add the like the chart and a few inputs, and so people play with it. Or you think we should add as well that initial?
So like in the original HackMD doc that Mitch prepared, we asked them actually a couple of questions. Like, these are 3 questions to set those parameters, and then below you get some sort of like a result, like in a table view, and then also there's a chart that we could generate based on that. Like, but for the simplicity of like to simplify things, like in the flow that I demoed right now, I would just ask them those questions, and then like have some sort of like a toggle or a link or icon or whatever to preview the results, to check the detailed results, maybe, which will be the chart and then the table or something like that. I don't know. So yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I can try to do like the rawest as possible, like just no styling specific, more like the features,
no
and then
styling.
okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna share you the HackMD document with those 3 questions, like the opening price, token freeze, and token thaw, and then tables and graphic ideas that Mitch put there as well. that we
You have
could
them
use.
on your Trello card, Vitor.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I got Aldin. Thanks. Yeah, okay. We can iterate on that then.
Yeah, and then like in any case, like in the advanced view of the configuration, we will probably have just a label input, charts, tables, everything else, because like that's advanced, right? So consider that we will probably have that.
Oh no. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the idea was more to see if things make sense and trying to move the model, and yeah, I think it's a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So what's the thought? Just go with Figma prototype?
So yeah, Figma prototype. Well, both. Like I think like Vitor could put something up without any styling or whatever, where we can test out the stuff that is being generated by adjusting these parameters and get feedback from people saying, okay, this information makes sense to me, or this is missing, or I would love to have like this chart view here or that or whatever. I don't know. And then also having that thing like in parallel also in the Figma prototype. That's my next thing actually to do. So next thing for me is putting those questions for the parameters in the configuration, and also then replicating the same thing for the advanced view. Something that Vitor is doing right now.
Okay.
So in conclusion, like we're gonna do both, and we're gonna test both.
Okay. So one thing, Vitor, I don't think, and I don't know if we even need it because it's so basic, but I don't think we have any Python for the price floor in the token thaw. I mean, it's this chart. It's super basic. It's
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably some Python from the simulator, but I don't think we have any for us right now.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I'm working on. Like the point was not only the point is that we have the planning curve one, and then the idea is to like derive from convection volume bunny curve models the visualizations that we want, and this is one of them. It's basically it's a token tile, but then we need just the point from the bunny curve. But yeah, I work on this as well.
Okay, cool. Okay, great. And then this, cool. Okay, so let's move to one. There was one point just while I have it up on the bonding curve. So Sem has been hot to trot on the reserve ratio, and he finally has me convinced that we probably should add it to the augmented bonding curve spec, but not as something that like they can change. Well, maybe as something they can change that changes the opening price. But in the bonding curve spec, if we show them, like, he went through it and it's like it's kind of true that if we don't show them the reserve ratio, then they're not really designing the bonding curve. And they just wouldn't feel like they're just picking these tributes, And like having to switch to the other screen to change the opening price might be a little weird. So I don't know how you feel about that, Mitch. We can also just leave it out for now, but he's gonna make strong comments when it goes to user testing anyway. So
You mean to add the reserve ratio as an input?
So the reserve ratio is derived from the opening price. So if they change the reserve ratio, if we added the reserve ratio to the augmented bonding curve spec, it would change the opening price, and they would have to see that.
So are you saying the output is the opening price, or the output should be reserve ratio?
So yeah, the output is the opening price, or we could also just have the opening price there and show people that this creates a reserve ratio of X. a reserve ratio of 15%, and then they can be like, oh, okay, well, I'll change the opening price again.
I think keeping the outputs as they are is good because we've already built like the messaging around it.
Yeah.
It's like we kind of have to go back to the drawing board, where we were of like, how are we going to explain this? And then probably have to remake some charts and stuff like that. So like we could literally just have the input of opening price. We could move it to the augmented bonding curve module and then just show them somewhere like on the same line that like this generates a reserve ratio of whatever.
Yeah, so that I guess this is the questions because they need the opening price for the token for the price floor. So either we ask them it twice, we move the augmented bonding curve to the beginning. I worry about moving the augmented bonding curve to the beginning because it's so fucking complex.
No.
We can ask them twice, or we can Marco, go for it.
Yeah, so like in the current flow, we have the opening price in the token module in the first section, right? So assuming like user is going through this linear flow where they go one by one, they will probably set the opening price first. When they come to the bonding curve, if that makes any effect on the opening price and whatever actually changes they make, we can pop up a warning saying like, hey, like this has changed here, or whatever. Do you want to change the opening price now? And just redirect them back to that page, or like in line they can change the opening price or whatever. In case of if they skip the first section and go straight to the bonding curve in the same scenario, and the opening price is actually missing, again, we can pop up a warning saying, hey, but you need to set the opening price, right, in order to continue. So like that's the second case. And like in the third case where they clicked on the advanced settings because like they're pros, everything will be on the same page anyway, right? So like I don't see a problem. We can just pop up alert saying, oh, this is the output here. This happened. Please change the opening price if you want. Okay, done. And I can change it or I don't change it. So like we can use these kind of alerts, notifications throughout the whole process whenever we think is necessary.
So the argument Sem is making is that you want to be able to change the opening price and see how it affects the bonding curve.
I mean, you could always add in, just like Marco was saying, another input on the bonding curve.
Yeah.
For opening price.
Because like it does not mess up the whole flow and everything else. It's just there. So like that input could also live in the bonding curve. And again, we can just inform users saying like, oh, you changed the opening price. Okay, it changed in the module here. Or like when they review their settings, they will just figure it out. Like they changed it on the bonding curve anyway, right?
Yeah.
So they know they changed
and
it.
On the graph too, that little graph that we made, we can have just like a little tooltip there in the corner that just displays the reserve ratio. And then when they get to the advanced view, we can leave it as is, or we can just switch it so that reserve ratio is the input and opening price is the output. If advanced users really should be doing that. Yeah. Or we can leave it as is.
That's interesting. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think either way, I'm not so worried about the detail. It's a storm that's brewing. He's in this house, it would be amiss. I'm losing the war, and he's kind of got me convinced. Because I guess the reserve ratio is solid. Like there were in the original the reason I was shy about reserve ratio is because in the original fundraiser app, it didn't work. The reserve ratio would just change. But now in this cleaner app, it stays constant. So it is real. So like basically if the reserve ratio is 20%, that means that the market cap is always, is always 5 times the amount of money in the reserve. And that ratio is constant. And so there's this like, because of that, aspect, it might be worth showing that, and especially because when you change the opening price, that changes the experience of the bonding curve. That story that we have for the bonding curve later too.
Mm-hmm.
So
we could
how
just
you guys-
add a tooltip in there, maybe, Marco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
we can help. Yeah.
I would take the time to think about it. I'm gonna make it the issue and then let you guys sort it out because it's not easy, and I'm sorry for the late notice. Also, you haven't started really prototyping the bonding curve stuff, right? Okay. Well, is there anything else on these prototypes that we want to talk about?
Nope.
Then let's pass it to Vitor to talk Python.
Yeah, there is not that much thing to show. Actually, there is no specific thing to show on. But yeah, the idea is that I created a repository and then I added locally the send notebooks there, so we have a place to work on. And I started working with the models and trying to extract like exactly the price floor and the other things. So then it'll be like a library, and then you can just import it like what you need. So things are more decoupled. So we have like all the backend, all the calculations that we need, and then we just import from the front end. And then what I can plan to do this week is start to add a few of those visualizations into the front end. At least like even if it's not specifically as it should be at the end, like with the specific abstractions of the user experience, at least like keep updating there. And since the continuous integration and deployment is working, it's simple. I just push the changes and it uploads automatically, and we already have a deployment. So everything that changes you can track with the deployment link that I'm gonna send on the channel. But yeah, that's it. So everything is set up, and now I just plan to. So when I put the visualizations there, like everything I change in the backend will go there. So things are set up. Now just turn its head down and work on it, and that's it.
That's awesome.
And I'm gonna send the params the deployment link.
Okay, so effectively we'll have kind of like the old dashboard. It'll just be kind of this. I mean, the old dashboard got a lot prettier, but we'll have almost like an ugly dashboard that we can start playing with.
Kind of, yeah. No, yeah, kind of, because I'm using Flash. That's basically it's another framework that you can style anywhere you want. But I think for now, yeah, I'll use that rendering of HV plot that is that ugly thing, and you can play with, but then you will improve it. But yeah, you're right. Right now it will be that thing, but you can style everything around it. But in final result, it will not be that way.
Cool. Any questions on Python? Do you need any help, Vitor? Is there anything that you could use help with?
Yeah, what I need to do and I plan to do today is to sit down and structure a little bit better, what needs to be what is specifically need to be done, and then my plan is to create issues, and then I think the workflow is as we know, then Naga and Mitch and Fabio, other people that wanna jam on it. It's more structured to go on, but yeah, there are many things.
Yeah, great. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm
Awesome.
happy to help.
Awesome. Okay, I'll create the issues there, and then we can start working on.
Cool. And I want to encourage everyone to dish lavish praise this week. We're probably going to hatch. The target for a hatch is 1 week from today. So this is the last time to dish praise for impact hours. So go wild, go nuts. Dish that praise.
One small question in that respect. After the hatch, there will be just kind of the whole praise system will be reimagined. No?
Yes.
So this vote is just for what we do with the impact towers until now and up until the hatch.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And there's not very much. What I would say it's a little bit unpredictable on what will happen post hatch. So like whether or not you get paid and you get a deduction on impact hours or not, I don't know. So I'm going to suggest to everyone that like if you're not being paid by the common swarm, you should be, because like maybe that gets deducted, maybe it doesn't. We don't really know, and like I would rather not set wrong expectations. So if anyone is like foregoing payment that they could get for impact hours, don't do it anymore. But it might work out. But it's one hell of a gamble, and there's nothing I don't know. I don't know exactly how the praise system is going to turn out. We are going to continue to dish praise, and it will be worth something. But exactly how that's all calculated, we probably won't really have a decision until after the hatch.
Okay.
So there probably won't be praise quants during the hatch. We're going to be integrating source creds, so all the GitHub work will just be calculated in and all that stuff. So it'll be cool.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other good news is that we're probably hatching in a week. Like comms and common swarm and softgov are the last three to give us the okay for launch. So common swarm, Audrey and Sem are like at this other blockchain hub here in Barcelona, hacking just to double check, triple check everything. Softgov is just waiting for this praise thing to be over on Thursday, and comms is basically ready. So like I think they can give the check mark. They just needed a date, and so we're kind of going with next week, Tuesday next week. Cool. Okay. Other points. Forum posts. So Nate or Lauren or anyone else working on forum posts, do you guys have anything to show and tell or anything that you want to pass around?
I'll let Lauren give you the background. She's been posting most of them to the forum at this point and doing a very good job with it. I think you've created a new section in the forum as well for it, so that's awesome.
2 sections. So there's one section for the regular params and one section for the advanced params, and just sort of like wrote little blurbs about like what should go in each of those sections. I don't really have much to show or tell. I mean, the forum posts that are up there are already up there, and I'm working on a couple of more, which I'll pass around for review. But yeah, maybe just to check in since we're talking about it, like I noticed, I think like Manu's maybe the only other person who's not here who took ownership of a forum post or two.
Yeah.
You know anything about the Nate?
He hasn't responded, and I decided to start working on it myself. So I'm just going to go ahead.
I talked to him a couple days ago. He messaged me, and I conveyed to him that we should have these really, really soon because they're very important. And so he said within the week.
Okay. Well,
Okay, cool.
we'll have some backups ready anyway.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think it's good. I really like it. Now that I have a better understanding of the approach, that like with the wireframes and stuff, I think it's really awesome. If you're just going to link it straight to the forum itself, I think it's really, really nice. So, yeah. Almost all the information is provided by Mitch with that HackMD document, so it's really nice to get everything. So yeah, it's coming along, and we'll have it up very soon.
What a team. What a team. You guys rock. Thank you so much for being I think this will be the best documented DAO deployment ever, period. So this is super cool. I think I have my blog post done. I wouldn't mind if anyone wanted to volunteer to just like give it a once over and look for errors or problems, like both on like text, like, oh hey, this is misspelt, dude, like Didn't you see the red underline? What's wrong with you? And then also, like, if you're like, should the stewards really be choosing that? Or, you know, some things we just say, hey, this is not going to be in the dashboard. We're not even going to put it in the advanced parameters section. And I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on these choices. So if you want to, I posted in the params channel the power of defaults post that most of you have seen. If you want to have an opinion on what goes in the advanced section, you can just scroll straight to the reasons for exclusion section. That's like the higher level. I'd love to hear any feedback if you think that I'm overstepping the technocratic role in choosing some of these parameters. But I think it's reasonable. Yeah, does anyone want to give that a once over?
I'll do it.
Oh, thank you.
I have it.
Yeah, I can do it too.
Yeah, I'll read it too.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree too.
Oh, you guys are crazy. Thank you. I will dish praise. I will dish so much praise. And Nate, Mitch, Marco, I suggest you just like go in there and like change a word or something. So I dish praise to you too.
Done.
I also have a small question, because I did the transferability post. What is the default proposed? Do we have one already?
Yes. I mean, in the end, so this is all, a lot of that stuff is talked about here. The default will be yes, but it will be decided by the stewards.
Okay, I'll just put yes for now then.
It would be, I'm probably the only steward who would want to vote for no. And it's at the expense of the TEC. So there's no, it's not, no. Vitor, in the common simulator, the tokens were non-transferable, right? Or like we made that assumption?
They were transferable. You mean like the hatch ones?
The hatch, and also no, when you buy into the bonding curve, they buy and sell in the bonding curve, but the people who hold the tokens, they never sell them anywhere else. They only sell them into the bonding curve, right?
Yeah. It's a closed economy.
So and that's why I would want it to be non-transferable, so that we have really simple models and can like have a base layer for modeling these things. But that's just a horrible idea for the token economy, so whatever.
Yeah, but on the other hand, that kind of guarantees that the tribute is always paid when somebody trades the token.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a point too. I don't know.
And it's true. No, it's true. I mean, yeah, we can debate it in the forum post, I guess, because it is there are good points for it, and this is the cool thing. The stewards will have a debate, and we will discuss whether or not the default should be yes or no. But there's too many reasons for yes.
Okay.
It's like we can do liquidity mining, right? We can do all this other stuff, that's token economic-y. Cool. Well, I think that's it. I don't have any other agenda topics. Nugget, you didn't get to do intentions distractions, right? Did you have any agenda topics?
No, I actually didn't. Yes, I wanted to warn that I'll not be able to go. Oh, hi Sam.
Hello, guys.
That, that I talked
I
to
am
you
your
with
distraction. I am your distraction.
Yeah. No, that I'll be a bit busy this coming week, so I probably won't make it to the next 2 hack sessions. But I'll try to make it to the meetings, and I can work on my own time in between, just to warn that. And that was everything, actually.
Well, you will be missed, Nugget. It's always fun hacking with you on Sundays. Cool. And Zep, you said you wanted something to write on. Is there a forum post or something that you wanted to tackle?
I don't know where to find the document. I remember I was working a bit on transferability, but I don't know like how you split the work. So I was doing the same than Nagen was doing. So yeah, I mean, if there's something you guys missing, I like to help.
Would you like to take a shot at price floor?
Price floor? Yeah, I'll take it.
All right.
I'll take it for the next week. Next week I'll have something for this.
All right.
Nice. Yeah, and Mitch's price for token thought hackmd has pretty much everything you need, I assume. Okay, cool. Well then, sorry, Nate, go for it.
Nothing. I don't want to throw gas on the fire, but I just have to give you my opinion on this because when I was first learning about bonding curves, I will say understanding the reserve ratio as a input and opening price as an output was very important for me to understand it in a comprehensive way. So do with that what you will, but yeah, it was pretty critical for me to understand how bonding curves actually work. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah, STEM is right. Okay, we'll deal with it. Thanks, Nate. But on that note, enjoy the 10 minutes between calls, huh? I think we can call it early. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you guys. Bye.